Here we go. Capital 7. Seven. Wow, see what you've done here? I blame you, Sebastian. Okay, so, here we go. Today we're just doing a couple new verbs. These are a little bit different than other verbs that you've done. Not drastically. But here we go. So, starting with the verbs. These verbs are called modals. Modals. Okay. There's a couple things that are special about modals. Okay. Number one is that you almost always have another verb that you use with it. Okay, it'll make sense once you see what they mean. Okay. But the other thing is that ich and RCS are going to conjugate exactly the same. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Okay. So, wollen means to want. Okay. So you can just say, I want pizza, and be done. Okay. In which case you would only use wollen. But if you said something like, I want to eat pizza, then to eat would be your other verb. Or I want to go sleep. Sleep would be your other verb. I want to go home. To go would be your other verb. I want to do well on the test. To do would be your other verb. Okay, so a lot of times they're used with another verb. So, with modal verbs, the right side is still normal. Left side is sometimes goofy. Okay? So let's do the right side first. So, what's wir going to be? Wollen. What about ihr? Wollt. And Sie and Sie? Wollen. Okay. Wollen happens to be one that is a false cognate. Do you know what a cognate is? Cognates are words that look similar and mean the same thing in both languages. So like computer, it's a cognate. Okay. A false cognate is one that looks the same, like gift. Okay, but has a different meaning, right? What does gift mean in German? Poison. Poison, yes. Okay. So this is one that is a false cognate. Okay. So will doesn't mean will. Okay, either the name or the verb. Okay. But it means to want. So ich will. I hope so. Okay. But since ich and RCS are the same, we can already fill in the other one. Yep. So there's no T ending on that for modal verbs. But in a cutesy way, like creating a new verb.
It didn't exist till now.
Alright. What's the normal do ending? ST. Whatever the ich or the RCS is, you're just going to still add that ST to it. So that part doesn't change. Still changes to the I, so you need to know what the ich form is, and then you can do the rest of them on the left side fairly easily. Okay, so ich will Pizza, du willst Pizza, will Pizza, Willi will Pizza. Okay? Next verb is another modal. Müssen. Everybody try that one. Müssen.
Müssen.
Oh, that wasn't everybody. Try it again. Müssen.
Müssen.
Okay. Means must or have to. In some cases it means need to, like I really have to do this. It's not that you need something, but that you need to do something. Okay. So if that word to isn't there, then it doesn't work. Okay. All right, right side's normal. So what's wir going to be? Müssen. Ihr? Müsst? Und sehen Sie? Müssen. Left side's goofy. Okay. Moose, like the animal. Okay. What's erstes man going to be then? Moose. Now we've already got an S at the end of the word, so we're not going to add an extra one. So for do, we're just going to add the T. Okay. So most. There are 6 of these modals, by the way. And you've already seen another one, you just didn't know it. So mag. You know, ich mag Musik. Magst du Musik? That whole thing from chapter like 2. That's another one of the modals. So you've already seen that one. Alright. Let's go back to your notes. So you're done with your verb T's. Keep them handy. Alright. So when you're doing word order, to use these in a sentence. Your modal verb is the one that you conjugate. So it's going to go in the second spot. Okay, just like it normally would have. Okay. If you have another verb, you kick that one to the end of the sentence. Call it verb punting. You punt it to the end. And you leave it alone. You don't conjugate it. You don't do anything to it. Okay. So this is one of those times where you might actually see the word sein for to be just as sein. Okay. So if I wanted to say, for example, ich will groß sein. Groß can mean big, can also mean tall. Okay, so if I said, ich will groß sein, that means I want to be tall. It's not true at all. But so you could have sein at the end, so it's not conjugated. Nothing. I just don't want to be it. Okay. So what does ich muss nach Hause gehen mean? I
must go home.
Yep. I must go home. Okay. So when we see muss, it's easy to think must because they look fairly similar. Okay. We would probably not say, I must go home. Okay. I have to go home. I gotta go home. Okay. That's what you guys would be more likely to say. So the trick is remembering that that is the word that you'd use for it. Okay. So you'll see that one written with the 2 S's and the S set fairly interchangeably. Okay. I won't mark you wrong if you write it with the S's or S set. Either way is fine. Okay. All right. To form a question, if you have the modal verb, it's either going to go first because you don't have a question phrase, or it's going to go right after the question phrase. So wherever your verb normally went is where it's going to go. If you have another verb, that one still gets kicked to the end of the sentence. You're still punting it all the way to the end. So that doesn't change. Okay? And you still leave that one unconjugated. So that's called the infinitive form. So musst du nach Hause gehen? What's that one asking? Say, I heard mumbling. Do you have to go home? Good. Okay. Alright, we're going to do a little practice with translating here. Okay. So, I must do homework. What's your first word?
Ich.
Ich. What's your next word going to be?
Moose.
Moose. Good. And then what?
Hausaufgaben.
Hausaufgaben. And what's going at the end?
Period.
Period.
Mark.
Very close.
Machen.
Machen. So this was the one that you don't conjugate. So that when you do these sentences, when you have another verb at the end, it's always going to be in an N ending. Always. 100% of the time. Okay? So ich muss Hausaufgaben machen. And about he must do homework. Muss, yeah?
Hausaufgaben machen.
Yep. So you notice only the first word had to change in that case. Next one. He wants to eat pizza. Er?
Will.
Will?
Essen. Esse. Esst. Ist. Ist.
Nope. Nope.
Essen.
Essen.
Stop and think.
Eat.
So we have two verbs. We've got this one, we've got this one.
Essen.
No,
Pizza.
Essen goes at the end.
Pizza is next.
Oh, no, Essen.
Because
Can't.
Essen goes at the end. You got it. So er Pizza essen.
You didn't say boil.
I did.
Oh, my bad.
Alright.
My bad.
Wow, I want to take that to heart. Jimmy said my bad.
Next one. Do you want to eat pizza?
9.
Translate. See? I know you guys.
Do.
Uh,
Wills.
No.
Willst. Good. The do is already in the willst. So willst.
Do. Willst do.
Willst du?
Pizza. Essen.
There you go. Alright. Does she want to listen to music? On the right track. Not willst, but will. Yep, because it's she. Okay? What? Will?
will.
Sie? Making sure it's a little s.
Lesen. No. Musik.
What's
Musik?
Musik. Lesen.
Lesen means to read.
It's not mouse.
Horn.
Hören. There you go. Will sie Musik
Horn.
hören? What? Snake rock.
Wait,
Alright. Last one. I had to pick a good language to put in there.
this is not a
Beer.
Wir?
Hot. Hot.
Oh, you fell into the trap. A lot of people say haben müssen or haben zu or something like that.
Wir müssen.
Müssen.
Can't
Yep.
get back up, can I?
Französisch sprechen.
There you go. Wir müssen Französisch
Speaking.
Sprechen.
sprechen. Really?
Oh.
We have to speak.